Welcome, and thanks for joining this discussion on teaching in higher education, where we'll explore the forces reshaping how we prepare the next generation of learners and leaders, and why innovation and adaptation matter now more than ever as institutions confront rapid change in pedagogy, technology, and workforce expectations. This slide sets the scene for a changing landscape in higher education, highlighting how traditional models are being questioned and why institutions must reimagine teaching approaches to respond to shifting student needs, rising costs, and new expectations for career readiness. We're entering an era of transformation driven by three powerful forces: financial pressures, squeezing budgets; a technology revolution, changing how students learn; and social evolution, shifting demographics and priorities. Together, these trends make reinvention an urgent institutional priority. Budget realities are forcing new priorities across campuses, with more than 40 U.S. college closures since 2020, and institutions restructuring to manage healthcare, mental health services, and changing funding models, all of which demand creative operational strategies and renewed focus on sustainability. This image and headline capture the closure crisis. Over 40 colleges have closed since 2020, and in 2024, institutions were shutting their doors at an alarming weekly rate, a poignant reminder that financial viability and strategic planning are now existential issues for many campuses. Leadership in higher education is in flux as presidential tenures shorten and new leaders bring diverse backgrounds. They're expected to combine academic credibility with crisis management, political savvy, and emotional intelligence to steer institutions through turbulent times. Preparing modern academic leaders means building robust support systems, executive coaching to reduce isolation, peer networks for critical feedback, trustee backing to withstand external pressures, and targeted professional development in change management and stakeholder engagement to sustain effective leadership. This section introduces the teaching and learning workforce, focusing on how faculty, designers, and support staff are adapting to new demands, and why institutions must invest in people and structures that enable quality teaching in a rapidly evolving environment. Workforce shifts require rapid adaptation as faculty and staff navigate hybrid models, growing workload concerns, and an increased focus on well-being, while flexible work arrangements change institutional culture and require new approaches to collaboration and workload management. Building a culture of belonging and professional growth is essential. Institutions are investing in mentorship, recognition, and transparent career pathways to support diverse educators, while continuous learning ensures instructors keep pace with new pedagogies and technologies. Technology is now a central force in teaching, reshaping how content is delivered, how students engage, and what faculty roles look like, opening opportunities for personalized, scalable learning while raising important questions about implementation and impact. This slide highlights AI's rapid market growth and transformative potential, noting today's AI tools enable personalized, adaptive learning at scale, and suggesting this shift could be one of the most significant pedagogical changes in generations. Evidence is accumulating that AI can improve outcomes. Studies link AI-driven platforms to higher test scores, earlier identification of at-risk students, and faster competency attainment, illustrating how adaptive systems can enhance both performance and efficiency when deployed thoughtfully. Dynamic content delivery leverages multimodal resources, expands accessibility, and adapts in real time to learners' needs, enabling a richer, more inclusive experience by offering videos, simulations, and adaptive text tailored to diverse preferences and abilities. At the same time, ethical challenges of AI demand careful attention. Academic integrity becomes more complex, misinformation risks persist, privacy concerns about student data grow, and over-reliance on automation could erode independent critical thinking if we don't set clear policies and safeguards. Shifting to curriculum innovation and career alignment, means designing programs that directly prepare students for changing workforce demands, emphasizing competencies over credentials, and strengthening ties between academic learning and real-world career pathways. Aligning programs with workforce needs requires industry partnerships to identify skill gaps, micro-credentials to certify specific competencies, and accelerated pathways that let students gain marketable skills faster, all aimed at connecting learning outcomes with career readiness. A data-driven approach to curriculum design uses labor market analysis, curriculum mapping, strategic redesign, and continuous monitoring to ensure programs remain relevant, with dedicated teams translating market trends into curricular action and measurable improvements. Balancing workforce focus with liberal arts values is about adopting a both-and approach, cultivating critical thinking and communication alongside career-relevant skills, preserving humanities' ethical frameworks while delivering practical competencies to graduate, engaged citizens, and skilled professionals. Student experience and success are central priorities, and this section introduces how institutions must support holistic development, academic preparedness, and social-emotional growth to help learners persist, thrive, and graduate ready for changing careers. Post-pandemic readiness requires institutions to address learning loss with wraparound services, reimagined first-year experiences, and targeted supports that rebuild foundational knowledge, strengthen study skills, and create community connections that foster persistence and success. Reducing time to degree responds to student demand for efficiency and affordability by embracing accelerated programs and modular, competency-based learning that allow learners to progress at their own pace, stack credentials, and convert work experience into academic credit. Equity and inclusion in teaching requires removing financial barriers, creating belonging initiatives, expanding DEI-linked programs, and designing inclusive pedagogy that honors diverse backgrounds and learning styles to ensure opportunity and access for all students. Looking ahead to the future of teaching roles and methods, we see a shift from single instructors to collaborative teams where faculty, instructional designers, and technology specialists co-create learning experiences, transforming how teaching gets done and who participates in design and delivery. Expanding roles beyond faculty reframes. Instructors as learning architects supported by instructional designers, learning technology specialists, and analytics professionals, creating a collaborative ecosystem where each role contributes to effective, scalable teaching and improved student outcomes. Hybrid and online models are here to stay, blending in-person and digital learning to offer flexibility, expand access to rural and working learners, and deliver cost efficiencies. While immersive technologies like VR move from experimentation to practical tools in hands-on fields. Continuous professional development is essential and must be institutionally supported, covering digital pedagogy, AI literacy, inclusive practices, and learning science application so faculty can design evidence-based, accessible, and effective learning experiences for all students. Institutions pursuing teaching excellence are increasingly embracing system-level strategies, collaborating across networks, expanding outreach through satellite campuses, and using franchising or mergers strategically to preserve access while achieving scale and impact. Embracing systemness for efficiency means leveraging strategic mergers, collaborative networks, campus expansion, and selective franchising to create economies of scale, extend reach to underserved communities, and sustain quality in challenging markets. Financial models align to mission demand, strategic resource allocation tied to outcomes, incentives for innovation, program sunsetting, where offerings no longer serve students, and performance metrics that guide decisions based on enrollment and career outcomes rather than tradition alone. Leadership's role in teaching innovation is to cultivate a change-positive culture, integrate innovation with institutional priorities, align resources behind strategic goals, and communicate transparently so experimentation is encouraged and supported across the campus. This case studies section introduces real-world examples of innovation in teaching, showing how institutions adapt strategy, technology, and partnerships to improve access, outcomes, and responsiveness to workforce needs. The University of California example highlights expanding access through college preparation, summer bridge programs, dual enrollment, and holistic admissions, showing how sustained investment in preparation can grow enrollment and student success despite regional demographic shifts. Business schools are adapting rapidly by using labor market analysis to identify in-demand skills, expanding micro-credentials, updating curricula frequently, and offering accelerated programs that respond nimbly to employer needs and set a model for other disciplines. Leading institutions report measurable gains from AI-enhanced platforms, chatbots supporting advising at scale, adaptive learning, personalizing content, and predictive analytics identifying struggling students early, all validating where targeted investment in AI yields improved outcomes and retention. This section frames the challenge of preparing students for an uncertain future by focusing on skills and mindsets, creativity, adaptability, and ethical judgment that will matter as work and technology evolve in unpredictable ways. Teaching critical thinking in an AI world means centering creative problem-solving, ethical reasoning, human connection, critical evaluation of information sources, and lifelong adaptive learning, emphasizing capacities that machines cannot replicate and that will enable human flourishing. Fostering social cohesion and global awareness reclaims higher education's civic mission by promoting dialogue across difference, global competency, intergenerational learning, and community-engaged service that links academic study to real-world problem-solving and democratic participation. Looking ahead toward 2030, we'll explore scenarios that imagine how teaching could evolve, from AI as a co-teacher to decentralized credential marketplaces, equity-driven transformations, and potential resistance movements that recalibrate the role of technology in learning. In the co-teaching future, AI becomes a true partner handling routine tasks, while faculty focus on mentorship, complex problem-solving, and ethical and research guidance, with AI delivering personalized content, automated assessment, tutoring, and data-driven insights to support instruction. Decentralized learning ecosystems imagine credentials unbundled into modular components from multiple providers, employer recognition prioritizing competencies, personalized learning pathways, and lifelong learning becoming the norm, posing both challenges and opportunities for traditional institutions. An equity-driven transformation envisions universal access and wraparound supports, teaching designed for diverse learners from the ground up, and technology enabling global reach and opportunity creation. A bold scenario that would require large-scale political will and resource investment. The resistance and recalibration scenario recognizes possible pushback against rapid digitization, emphasizing renewed human-centered teaching, technology used as a tool rather than replacement, and a revived appreciation for liberal arts and in-person relationships. Recommendations for educators and leaders focus on practical priorities. Invest in adaptive leadership. Build organizational capacity for change. Integrate technology thoughtfully. Protect ethical standards. And center student needs in every strategic move. Embrace change leadership by developing adaptive capacity through targeted training, cultivating emotional intelligence, and creating structures that empower decision-making and risk-taking so institutions can respond quickly and confidently to emerging challenges. Leverage technology thoughtfully by starting with pedagogical goals, piloting innovations with willing adopters, providing deep support and training, rigorously assessing impact on learning, and maintaining strong governance around privacy, bias, and accessibility. Prioritize student-centered teaching by designing backward from competencies, continuously gathering feedback, focusing on engagement through evidence-based active learning, offering flexible pathways and holistic supports, and building universal design principles into programs from the start. This closing section reframes our collective challenge. The future of higher education demands bold innovation, inclusive leadership, and an unwavering commitment to student success, and it invites stakeholders to imagine and enact a better future together. The path forward is a call to action. The future of teaching is being written now through the choices we make, the risks we take, and the values we uphold. And together, we can shape a future for higher education that is more equitable, relevant, and resilient.